The strange Wedge of Aiud, an ET alien craft's landing gear forgotten in time. A rare aluminum device called the Wedge of Aiud could be part of a 20,000-year-old UFO. It was the year 1973 when some workers from a quarry near the city of Aiud in Romania accidentally discovered some 10 meters deep fossilized bones together with a rather strange object. The bones were mastodon bones, and the object was initially thought to be the head of an axe used by the ancients to hunt animals. The curious block was donated to the History Museum of Transylvania to be rediscovered and analyzed many years later. Its weight turned out to be 5 pounds, and its approximate measures of 20 by 12.5 by 7 centimeters. The chemical test carried out in the laboratory in Lausanne, Switzerland, to determine its composition showed that this artifact was constituted mostly of aluminum, 89% aluminum, with a minor participation of 11 other metals in specific proportions. The thick layer of oxide of a millimeter of thickness that covered the surface even from the block helped to date the antiquity of this in about 400 years. However, the geological layer in which it was found, the Pleistocene, suggests that it already existed some 20,000 years ago in the past. Florin Gheorghita, on the other hand, had the opportunity to examine the report of the analysis carried out under the direction of Dr. Niederkorn of the Institute of the Study of Non-Metallic Metals of Minerals, located in Mongurel, Romania, stressed in that it is composed of an extremely complex metal alloy. Gheorghita states that the alloy is composed of 12 different elements, of which the percentage of aluminum volume, 89%, has also been established. It also identified the presence of copper 6.2%, silicon 2.84%, zinc 1.81%, lead 0.41%, laguna 0.33%, zirconium 0.2%, cadmium 0.11%, nickel 0.0024%, cobalt 0.0023%, bismuth 0.0003%, silver 0.0002%, and gallium in amounts. Now, the fact that this rare metal object has been found together with mammoth mastodon bones causes one to wonder and poses many questions. The surprise for the scientists was not minor, since the aluminum in pure state is not present in nature, and the technology to achieve a considerable degree of purity could only be reached in the middle of the 19th century. The chemical composition of the object and its unusual structure, which highlights two perfect oval holes, have led to the emergence of several hypotheses about its true origin. While some think it could be the piece of a tool made by man today, it's not specified what tool it could be. Other scientists have compared the object with a reduced version of the point of support of a space exploration module, such as the lunar module or the leg of the Viking probe. According to the second version, the object could have belonged to a non-terrestrial spacecraft or a piece of terrestrial spacecraft that fell into the river. However, neither the antiquity dated by the examination of the oxide layer nor the one assumed by the geological stratum in which it was found have been able to explain what function fulfilled an object of such a modern technology in such a remote time. After the results of the tests were analyzed, the wedge was sent to the Museum of History in Transylvania, Romania, where it was placed on a shelf, unaltered in its position for 2 decades. And finally, in 1995, another Romanian researcher, Florin Gheorghita, came across the artifact in the basement of the museum. The wedge was tested once more, this time in 2 different laboratories, the Archaeological Institute of Cluj-Napoca and an independent Swiss laboratory. The test confirmed the results reached by Fischinger and Niederkorn. Gita wrote in the Ancient Skies publication, where he asked an aeronautical engineer about the artifact studies. The engineer pointed out the configuration and hole drilled in the wedge and claimed that a pattern of abrasions and scratches on the metal led him to believe that it was part of an airplane landing gear. In short, Aiud's aluminum artifact is one of those mysteries that may never be solved, that we never understand as long as we do not open our minds until we're able to accept, or at least suppose, that a civilization could exist before ours, or a contact between beings through space-time. Perhaps we in the future will go back to the past with the intention of seeing mammoths, and some clueless people will lose a piece of their tools from their ship. We don't know, maybe it's an error, but what really puzzles us is that how could that piece reach the substrata of the mammoth that lived 20,000 years ago? What was it doing all the way down there? This is from Infinity Explorers, Anshver Vastava. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.